Hello! Every week, or until I get bored and wander off again like someone with dementia trying to find a pub in a county that doesn't even exist anymore, I'll be looking at the last week in video games. News, releases, and all that shite summed up as quickly as I can so you can get back to all those books you promised you'd read this year but haven't yet. This week has been the Comedown from E3, less an afterglow and more waking up sticky from a wet spot. Actually, on the topic of cold cum, sticking your leg hair together, let's talk about EA, this week telling the UK Parliament that their loot boxes aren't actually loot boxes, but surprise mechanics, a term I've only ever heard used before when my maths teacher signed me up for the wrong A-level module. Kerry Hopkins, EA's VP of Legal and Government Affairs, because that's a thing a fucking video game company needs, described its loot boxes as quite ethical. Now, quite is an interesting word, meaning both absolutely and ish. So feel free to read this as either a defense of loot boxes or an admission of guilt from a company that is slowly getting its vile electronic mugging mechanics banned across entire countries. Mi narrativa es tu narrativa. Pokemon's dad, Game Freak, announced that starting with Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pokemon games will no longer have all the original Pokemon in them, limiting the game's roster down to just... who gives a shit? It's not the original 151 plus Wooloo Pokemon. My take on this, if they include that fucking key one, I'm going to lose my mind. But they should get rid of Tangela. In Water is Wet news, Square Enix Poundland Cereal Box Avengers game will feature microtransactions, letting you probably buy new suits for Iron Man, the floss dance emote for Thanos, and maybe even something for Hawkeye to do. This morning, I shat Harry Potter Wizards Unite onto my phone briefly, before vanishing it away a few hours later, like an 18th century Hogwarts student looking for the bathroom. Niantic have taken the Pokemon Go mold and stamped it right into J.K. Rowling's face, giving the players the chance to vanish monsters away. I think, honestly, I'm a rural player and all I managed to do was save Hagrid, walk fucking miles to a greenhouse, and then walk back home with nothing happening on the way. But hey, if you're after a Pokemon Go clone that's uglier, more confusing, and less thematically strong, then go and play Ingress, I guess. Penn and Teller have announced a VR follow-up to their unreleased Sega CD game Smoke and Mirrors. Penn and Teller VR FUUU and U, which stands for Frankly Unfair and Kinda Necessary and Underhanded, contains a bunch of tricks to play on your friends and a follow-up to Desert Bus, where you read a classic American novel in one sitting. I don't know what that classic American novel is going to be yet, but my money is on Moby Dick, The Catcher in the Rye, or the Bible. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night has released this week, bringing with it one of the best Castlevania games since Symphony of the Night. Sure, it's not technically a Castlevania, but it plays like one, looks like one, sounds like one, is made by the same people as one, and actually I'm not entirely sure how it isn't one. I've flung a few hours into it so far, and it is damn good. If the phrase Dawn of Sorrow makes you think of Gothic castles and not waking up realising Boris Johnson is Prime Minister, then I heartily recommend this to you. It's a fucking great game. Another recommendation this week, My Friend Pedro, a 2D platformer that lets you dive through a window in slow motion, shoot two people at the same time, and kill a third by kicking a basketball into their face. I've been looking forward to this one for ages because basically it's a mix between Tony Hawk's and the lobby scene in The Matrix. Short and damn sweet, very much like Pedro himself. I didn't mention he's a floating banana, basically the game's sex appeal. Get it? Appeal, because he's a banana. Fuck you. Finally, Frontier released 17 minutes of Planet Zoo footage, and god fucking damn it looks good. All the best bits of Planet Coaster combined with all the best bits of Planet Earth. Buildings now have interiors so you can see all your little zoologists go to work, stuff paths are now a thing, and poo has physics. Yep. You heard me. Heard, get it? Heard. Because animals move. What, do you hate comedy? Anyway, that's all from me now. Leave your questions and opinions down below for Matt to delete, and maybe, if some survive, we'll read them out next week. Like and subscribe to channels that are better than this. Tom Scott, for instance, or Jay Foreman. And also, take the bins out. You promised. Anyway, bye.